Yeah, I'll probably know by now we have had nonstop rain for the last 2 months, but now we're at the point where we are breaking records.
Yeah, Denver's had more rain so far this year than Seattle. Yeah, Seattle. Meteorologist Chris Bianchi joins us with what's behind all of that, Chris.
Yeah, it is wild, Steve and Alex. We have seen more rain in Denver than Seattle since the start of the year. Now, sometimes we might get a month or so where we end up with a bit more rain than Seattle, but for a bit of context, Seattle averages about 3 times the amount of precipitation over the first 6 months of the year than Denver does. So this is not some sort of anomaly, and I looked back at the records. This is the first time on record that this has ever happened from January the 1st through June the 30th. Seattle's not going to get any rain today, so this is going to hold. And that Denver has had more rain, more total precipitation than Seattle. That is just stunning. But I'm going to put this in a bit more context because I know I'm speaking meteorologically. Some of you probably understand the fact that Denver getting more rain than Seattle over the first 6 months of the year is a pretty whopping stat. Let's put it into a bit more perspective for you. So, since the start of the calendar year, Denver's picked up again about 14.5 inches worth of rain and melted snow equivalent. That is what we term precipitation. The average for Denver is about 7.43 inches worth of precipitation over the first 6 months of the year. That makes it our 4th wettest start to a calendar year on record. And by the way here, folks, it's raining outside right now, so we might crack the top 3 if we get another 0.2 of an inch of rain today, which seems kind of possible. So, with that said, we are now in the middle of our wettest June on record. By the way, by far. Look at this. Denver, 6.12 inches worth of rainfall so far this month. That absolutely blows out of the water, literally speaking here, 1882, which is a little under 5 inches worth of rainfall. And put this on top of that, this is tied for our 5th wettest month on record. Last month was our 11th wettest month on record. So this is just this nonstop faucet. So with all this said, okay, I think you get it at this point that it's just been raining nonstop. The question I keep getting is why it just won't stop raining. We've had, generally speaking, this general pattern in place. Across the eastern 2/3 of the country, it's been pretty dry. Been out east, you know, they're a bit of a drought. Got a big anchoring ridge high pressure across the middle of the country and an area low pressure off to our south and west. And what that means is we are constantly tapping into moisture out of both the Pacific and the Gulf of Mexico, and it's streaming right into Denver. So you kind of get this exact pattern in place. You can get what's happened here, folks, but there's no two ways about it. It has been a wild stretch, and Denver so far this year, for the first time on record, has had more rain than Seattle over the first 6 months of the calendar year.
And to talk about the type of rain, I lived in Seattle for 4 years. It is like that misty, you barely get a big raindrop, and we have had torrential downpours here.
Yeah, exactly. We've had all that rain. Most of the rain that we've had here in Denver has come over the last 6 weeks or so. So you go back to mid-May when we had that kind of 3-day rainstorm of about 4 inches of rain here in Denver. That's when we got the majority of what we're talking about here. But again, I've lived here for 13 plus years. I've never seen anything like what we've had so far this spring. Hopefully we can turn off the faucet sometime soon, but looks like maybe next week we get more rain.
All right. Chris Bianchi, thank you.